And so Lester's story begins. We were playing Hope and Crosby. We never liked them much. They never liked us much. They didn't like each other much in private. Bing was better friends with Phil Harris and Phil Silvers. On the links, Bing didn't say much to anyone other than, "You're away." Bob was more chatty, but I didn't trust him. Not after he stole my line, "Don't toot the fun flute unless you mean it." But it would have served us well to kowtow a little since they were the stars and we were on the outs in Hollywood. It was late afternoon, the light transcendental, the traps perfect, with perfect pink sand, and the greens and fairways were manicured as only prison labor can manicure. I was caught up in the moment, and no matter how terrible the script and demeaning our roles, I never wanted to leave the place. A month of evenings like this on this course, maybe 2 months. By then, I'd be able to gauge the trade winds. So, we're on the 18th hole, ocean vistas, with fruit bats darting to and fro, Sam, myself, Bob Bing, a camera crew, and a few select artist friends. This is the penultimate scene in the movie. The setup is this. Bob and Bing wanted out. They feared the cannibals manning the cooking pots were real, but it was more than that. The film was a mirror of the real-life situation. Hope and Crosby's material bombed in the future. They had no feel for the future. Much of their cultural misappropriation and cultural insensitivity and sexist humor didn't play. Women booed. The patty cake gags fell flat. Screw it. They'd got in early in time travel. Always game for a new fad. But the future wasn't for them. And they didn't have to work in the future. Bing feared they might be left in the future when the studio realized they wouldn't have to be paid because their work would be public domain. Fears that turned out to be well-founded. And more nefariously, it was rumored when Bing got back to the past, he was the one who suggested the idea to the studio boss, whose ex-wife once had a fling with Bunny before leaving him for a bongo player. Whatever, it's all speculation. Bob and Bing ran out of gas in Zanzibar and sensed Road to Bonga Bonga was going to be a dud. So it comes down to the last putt. A terrible 30-foot downhiller with a triple break. I've bet our last dime. Hope and Crosby are enjoying the impossibility of the situation, and to sweeten the misery, Bing says, "Tell you what, Sam, if you make it, Bob and I will take the first seaplane out in the morning. You finish the film, hell, you can have the studio keys." Bob and Bing and the audience are in on the joke. Everyone knew Bunny would sink it. Knew Bunny's putter prowess was legendary, and especially when there was a love interest involved. They oft asked the question, why did sweaty little Bunny always get the girl and not smooth Lester? Well, I'd go for Sam myself. The man had putting nerves of steel. And so Bob and Bing have the match in the bag. Bunny has one shot in 1,000 of saving the day. Sam searches for a ball mark. Crosby flips him a dime. "Thanks," says Bunny, spotting the ball. "That's twice. I won't have to bend down for a nickel." I take Sam's putter from him, kiss it, bless it, and say, "Screw these bums. Let's take their socks and shoes and underwear, and Dorothy Lamore's underwear." "But Sam," I say, with a confident partner's pat, "business first, pleasure afterwards," as King Richard III said when he stabbed the other king in the tower afore he smothered the babies. Of course, the putt drops, and our characters don't realize they've been duped until Bob and Bing fist bump. It didn't matter if Bunny sank it or not. That's how it would play on film. A stunt double might spend all the next day trying to roll it in. In the final scene, the joke is revealed. Sam and I boiling in the stew pot, a cannibal cutting carrots, Bob and Bing off on a Douglas DC-3. My last line, another Pickwickian classic. It's over and can't be helped, and that's one consolation, as they say in Turkey, then they cut off the wrong man's head. Before the director cuts, Sam says, "Yeah, Lester, we're good and cooked." And then he says to the cannibal, He's not kosher. Look, not circumcised. The line was cut, but the crew loved it. Then the volcano blows. Not a special effect. It's all lost footage somewhere in a can. But the bunny image I treasure is the look Sam gave Bing before he nailed it. A determined look. The look artists everywhere give other artists. You think you're good? Watch this. When the putt looked as if it was about to die, Bunny said, hop, hop, hop. And remarkably, from what seemed like a dead stop, the ball started rolling again and dropped. Sam kissed the dime Bing had given him and put it in his pocket. The ice smile Bing wore read, pure professional hatred. And Bob stepped back as if shoved, both humbled. This was real. Sam had beaten me 1,000,000 times with that hop, hop, hop. I'd say, Sam, you're a prick, and not even a big prick, a little prick. One take. Pure fucking magic. PFM. That is what a great master like Sam Bunny can do.